Hello there and welcome back to the next episode in the Cities Skylines Mass Transit DLC. If you remember last time we had a look at making the ferries work more efficiently, getting the numbers of passengers up and getting the ferries linked to the transportation system, specifically in this case buses. And as I mentioned when I signed off, I was going to look at blimps, and that's what we'll do today. And first of all, we're just looking at the city, an overall view. You can see it's fairly widespread, not particularly big by a lot of standards, but a population of 115,000-ish. Still needs some more residential zones to be put in. But I don't want to put any more in at the moment because the city's getting quite big and the frame rate's getting a bit slow as well. Excuse me. What I'm going to have to do now is look at the zoning first of all, and that will tell me what we've got. So we've got industrial in the centre here, moving up to this area. There's another zone of industrial there, industrial there, industrial there, and down here as well. So it's fairly well spread out. And the residential districts are also spread around, rather like the commercial, dotted all over the place. But what's going to be useful here is to have a look at the transportation system. And if I go into the transport zone here and click on, I can see it's quite a, well, what can you call it, a hodgepodge of metro lines, bus lines, train lines, there's tram lines in here as well. There's also got the ferry lines, of course, so it's a busy city in terms of existing transportation. If I go down to the traffic routes and take a look at what's going on, I can see, if I zoom in, that we've got traffic up here. We can see we've got cyclists. Let me turn cyclists off. There won't be millions of those, but private vehicles are useful because I can see here that we've got private vehicles going from this area and zooming across this highway into the other zone and coming up and going up to what is actually an industrial zone and commercial zone. Industrial here, commercial there. So we already know that we want to get passengers moved from this area down to this area. Now it's fairly densely populated already down here, which means that putting blimps in will mean demolishing, and it will also mean a lot of noise. Noise upsets residents, they become sick and they'll move out fairly quickly and abandon buildings. So I'll have to bite the bullet, and I think a blimp station is ideally situated close to industrial and with some sort of transportation link from that area to residential, so we can get passengers picked up and delivered to the blimp station. What I need to do is consider where I'm going to take this blimp to. If we're going to come down from this area, we're going to want to get close to the residential stroke commercial zone at this side. Going back to my routes again, we can see that the routes come up to here, and that is a mixture of residential, and then we've got commercial and industrial here. So a blimp somewhere around here connected to another or close to another transportation system. Now luckily we've got a metro over here and we've got a bus line around here, so I think a blimp in this sort of area here. Let's just have a look. If I click on the blimp, it's in the aircraft section, monorail there, cable car there, and if you go down here we can see we've got the blimp depot where the blimps start from before they even get to a stop. Then we've got a blimp stop, then we've got the pathway tool, then we've got the line construct tool, and we can't put that in until we've actually put the depot and first stop in place. So a depot can go anywhere. It's got noise pollution of 100, so fairly noisy, and obviously we need to try and get that as far away as we can possibly get it from residentials. They're not happy about having too much noise. As I said earlier, they'll just move out. I don't want to put this where I could actually have a blimp stop. It won't go here because it's too steep. You can see from the terrain it's not particularly brilliant. I can put it anywhere. I'm going to put it over on this side. There's nothing going on around here at the moment. So if I just drop that down close to the road, that'll be fine. And now we look at the blimp. Now the blimp stop, that's 75 pollution, still noisy, not too brilliant I'm afraid, but what we've got down here, let me just check what we've got in this position. That's a recycling centre, so lots of noise going on already down there. So dropping a blimp stop, and look at the circle there, the circumference is not hitting anybody on this side. This side, there's no population there yet, but we're close to a metro stop, we're on a bus route, so I think the ideal place for a blimp stop is right next to the, well, I won't put it right next to the recycling centre in case it tries to land on it. So let's put it there, and if we check back on our screen we can see we've got a pedestrian crossing here and here, we've got crossings here and here, and the metro line is over on this side, so they will walk, but I'm going to move the bus stop at some point, or add another bus stop in this line, so passengers will get picked up, I would say probably around this area. Okay, so we've got the first stop in place, and I need to put in a pathway between the depot over here and the stop. Now there shouldn't be any problem with I would say height. It's going to go up and cross over any buildings before it tries to land, so I'm going to drop that there. Now as I said before, we're going to come over to this sort of area here. I just want to check the zoning again. Industrial, bit of commercial, and we said we were going to put it close to industrial stroke commercials to keep the noise down, and then make sure there's a route close by to get passengers to and from work. So there's a bus route here, there's another bus route there. Actually that's not a, yeah, that's the tram route, so that's excellent. So the blimp, I'm going to put, yeah, where shall I put it? Again, let's have a look. Yeah, we've got plenty of routes down there. I'm tempted to put it down here. No, yeah, I have to demolish some of these power cables to get it in there, aren't I? I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'll demolish those and I'll reconnect afterwards. So let's get the, I'm going to put it in this area. So I'm going to chop these cables off here and there, demolish some of these. I don't want them coming up and telling me I can't place anything because there's space already occupied. Notice comes up quite happily, and we'll put the blimp stop in down here, so close to the tram line, close to the bus line. Passengers have loads of choice, and because there's a junction there'll be a pedestrian crossing so they can get across from one side to the other, and I'll make sure there's a bus stop just here next to the blimp stop. So down we go, that's dropped, and I need to get that connected up to the other blimp stop. Okay, so we're looking okay at the moment. I will put some other ones in at some point, but at this moment in time I just need to connect up. So let's have a look. There's my route. My stop is down here. Can't find a bloody stop. Now we need to connect this new stop that we've got just here with the pathway to our existing one. So let's go up to our existing one first of all, and we're going to take the pathway from there across the city, and we're going to drop it there. Now I need another pathway coming back, and it doesn't like going close to the existing route. I'm just going to see where we need to take it, and it needs to come back to there. So we've got a route in place, or a pathway. Now we need to put the line in. So create new line. We've got the central flashing dot there. So we'll go from there, follow the pathway to there, and we'll bring it back. If I come down the same line or pathway, it actually will go along. I could bring it down this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it back to here for the moment. I'm on pause, but the transportation window will pop up, and that will allow me to see that we've got a good connection. That's no problem at all there. I'm just going to turn the transportation off for the time being, and just check the blimp depot. That's fine, and that's working okay. Got that's stop number 1, of course. Okay, back to our transportation and back to our aircraft stroke blimp. I'm going to take the colour off. I don't like that colour. I find it quite irritating. Let's put a nice dark blue on there. And we'll start the simulation running, and we'll take a look at the line, and we've got 2 blimps on there. That's okay for the minute, but they're going to be quite close together, of course. Seems to be fine. I'll follow him over, see where he goes. Don't think he's got any passengers. Carry 35. It's fairly slow, but it's going. And the other one's just coming up behind it. We've got 3 of them going. That's too many. I've got to take something off here because the we really will be wasting transport, won't we? Come across to the first stop from the I'm going to take the middle one out. He'll go back to base. Just going to leave the you just about see him up there. This one's landing. No passengers yet. And I don't expect passengers. I haven't got that bus stop ready yet. So let's come back. Let's put a bus stop in, so at least passengers can get to that location. And What have we got? We've got a tram line there. Why did I think there was a bus stop there earlier? I must have been having an aberration. Is that stop there too close? I think it might be. Where's that tram picking up from? Round the corner. Oh, I think I could put another... Let's put another one up here. Drop the tram stop in there. And the metro stop is over here. There's a tram stop there, so they can jump off the tram, jump into the metro. So here we go. Any passengers yet? There's one going in. Look, there we go. Ready to be transported. Two going in. There's two already waiting there. Can't see if this one's coming on. This one's coming back. I think. Yeah, it seems to be getting bigger. One passenger on that one. Oh, well, he's picked up the other end already. That's quite good going. Let's go over and have a look and see what's going on. I didn't connect up those no, I don't need to connect up, I don't think, because the no, I'll connect up just to make it look tidy. Put it just in there. And now we've tidied it up, and let's see what's going on here. Two passengers. Why are they so close together? That one needs to unbunch, doesn't it, from that one? Pass through each other. No passengers at this side yet. And that's relying on pedestrians, really. I need to put a bus stop in here. Help if I got to the bus stop, wouldn't it? Drag to there, so we've got a bus stop in place. And we've got a tram coming round. Is it close enough at that stop to there? Well, it should be. I mean, they can get across the road, passengers. So I think at the moment we seem to have a working blimp line. Follow him. Oh, come on, click on the green and we'll follow him over. See where he's going to. Well, we get a good view from the city. Oh, that's all we can see, the wheel. We can see where we're going, but I'm not particularly impressed. I'd like to have sort of seen it from the passenger's point of view, from looking out the other windows, but I suppose, you know, it's a view, so we'll have to make do. Close to the airport, of course. That should be a no-fly zone for blimps, really, but it's fairly high up, so we're okay for the moment. And we'll see how many passengers are waiting down here. 8. Got 8 waiting down there. See, when we were actually looking at the first person view, we could see this wheel down below. Why weren't we looking out this window? I know the captain sits there, but there's still no excuse. And the other one's just about landing, so the unbunching's not working particularly well, is it? it's not picking any passengers up, and it says boarding, got one, but no, there's no unbunching. I'm a bit concerned that they're so close together. But anyway, we've actually got the blimps working as we said we would do. We've got them connected to other transportation systems. We need to sort the traffic out in this city. You can see it's actually diabolical, but at least it's working. So blimps, we've done that today, and as you recall, the what's going on here? It's jumping all over the place. Let me just come out and move away from him because it's driving me nuts. We had to get the blimp stops close by to bus stops or other transportation systems, and down here we've got 10 passengers waiting now, so people are using a blimp, not in sufficient numbers of course to get the traffic down, but then of course this isn't a particularly busy area when it comes to traffic. So just to recap, we put down the blimp depot, we put down our blimp stops, we connected them with a pathway, we then put a line in place, and we made sure that each of the stops were close to other transportation systems, in this case tram and or buses. Those are important, as we mentioned previously. The mass transit DLC works much better if you've got other transportations connecting to each other. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos in the future, please subscribe. But that's it for today. Thanks once again for joining me, and bye for now.